Everyone, I am Anju Babu. Today I am going to present the demonstration for Project 2. So I will be covering the 5 sections. So I am starting by section 1 and the 4 section, virtual network peering. So first I will show my network topology. So I am going to the Azure portal. So I am going to the virtual machines that I have created. So I have created two web servers, web server VM, web server 1 VM and web server 2 VM and client VM. So when we go to the client VM, we can see that the virtual network is virtual network 1. So I have created virtual network 2 for the client VM, and for the web server 1, I have added the virtual network 1, and for the web server 2 also I have added the virtual network 1. So to allow them to communicate, I have configured the virtual network peering. So when we go to the virtual networks, so when we go to the virtual network 1 peerings, so we can see virtual network 1 is connected to virtual network 2. And when we go back to the virtual network 2 in the peering section, we can see the virtual network 1 is connected to virtual network 2 successfully. So when we go to the client VM, to the virtual machines, client VM. So here we can see in the networking tab, we haven't set any public IP address. So when we go to the connect section, connect via Bastion with username and password, just connect. So I have connected via Bastion. So this allow me to securely manage the VM over SSL without needing a public IP. So we haven't used any public IP for this. So next part we are going to the web servers and custom pages. So here in the client VM, we need to open a web browser. So we have to check what's the private IP for the web server we have created. So when we go to the web server 1, so in the networking section, we can see the private IP address of web server 1 is 101.101.101.5. So when we go 5, we can see this is the web page is hosted on the web server 1 VM. I have changed the heading and I have changed the title to students IDs IAS Windows Server. So when we go to the web server 2 VM, in networking tab, we can see the private IP is .6. So when we go to instead of 5, go to 6, we can see this is the page I have created for web server 2 VM. So I changed the background to green and I have changed the title to student IDs IAS Windows Server and I have changed the heading. So this is all about the web server page that I have created here. So next part, we are going to explain about the load balancer configuration that I have created. So node services, we are going to load balancer page. So I have deployed the load balancer MST 300 LB. So when we go to the backend pool, so we can see that both the VMs that I have added to this web server VM1 and web server 2 VM I have added to the backend pool. So when we go back to this, when we click on this part, when we click on the load balancing rule, here I have added the front end IP address and backend pool and protocol I set to TCP port 80 and health probe I have added. And also in section persistence, I have selected null. So to ensure the traffic is distributed evenly between the two servers. This is the health probe I have added. So I name it as health probe, protocol TCP, and set port 80. So to demonstrate the functionality of load balancer, we are connecting the client VM using our Azure Bastion. So in the load balancer, so using this front end IP address, we are launching our web server. So we can see the web server 2 VM is launched using the load balancer IP. So we're gonna refresh this page. Yeah. Now upon the force refresh, the page switched from yellow to green. Sorry, green to yellow. So this confirmed the load balancer is successfully distributing traffic between the both backend web servers. So next part we are going to discuss about the private DNS zone. So when we go to the private DNS zone here, so I have deployed the private DNS zone. So I have added the record set. So I have added the record set at a record and use the front end IP. So with this FQDN URL, I'm going to browse. So we can see the web server page here. So this is all about my presentation. Thank you.